think in this colonial battle about to commence, Jimmy might have drawn early blood there with the singing of the national anthems. And Team Canada just still not quite in strong a voice. We're going to convince them to do that before the end of today plays out. Good afternoon. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, back in the big country, this is a little bit more of a decent hour to be up and about. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in the sweltering, stifling heat of the midday sun of the Alps of northern Italy. It's oppressive in the valley. Even the Italians are sweating. I certainly am. But I'm still here with you, battling on, battling through. And here we are in what we're referring to as the second low semi-final between Canada and Great Britain. GB having got to this position doing the very, very best they could against their other North American rivals, the USA. The USA doing enough to get through earlier today. GB still really proud of that. Getting another chance to maybe do some damage against a North American side. Canada very much up for this. It's going to be a competitive match, but I think very much played with in a friendly spirit. The guys are just going to enjoy themselves, really enjoy themselves out there skating and competing against each other and maybe redeeming themselves for something that they maybe couldn't have done a little bit earlier on. Michael Hunt there, I know he's suffering a little bit. He was saying that he'd hurt his back in a match previous. Ooh, cheeky little bobbling shot there. Tested the Canadian keeper first. So no Michael Beale taking it just a little bit easier and not wanting to hurt his back. He's got a bit of a sore rib there, so still standing up though, still going out there and representing, so good on him for that. Team GB very much still up for this as well too, and all of them really much with a smile on their faces from earlier on today. They were very, very pleased to have done as well as they did against the USA and played so well. Whatever the result, you know, Team GB can be very proud to have represented themselves so well so far. So I intend every bit to enjoy myself during this match as well, as the players are going to be out there in this friendly atmosphere and relax and sit back and repay certainly the Canadian gents the generosity that they showed by providing me with so much information about their hockey history and their family and friends watching. So I fully intend throughout this, perhaps maybe not to concentrate so much on the technical aspects of the hockey game, but a little bit more on some of the chaps that you see before you playing their hearts out on your country's behalf in the sweltering heat down on that rink. So I'll work my way through a couple of those to repay that for my fellow countrymen, the Canadians, who are on the attack here a little bit, as you can see. Who, Newberry, not quite pulling out of there. Harry wants to take the first shot. Bit of a penalty coming up here. Who's acquired that? He's calling for the trip. Number 11, Monsieur Leroc. I don't expect there'll be too many penalties, but don't confuse the sort of the cheerful nature of the match for complacency. I think both of these guys, in terms of their teams, they've come out here to compete, so They're not going to sit back and do nothing. They still want to go out there and play and give it a good show. So I'm sure they will do. And I'll try and describe that as it sort of pans out in front of us here. I'm getting ripped here on Facebook, you know. Absolutely ripped. A new one. Divided loyalties. Rubbish. Maybe I should say garbage. Well defended there. Marcel Nally, and another penalty coming up. Referee's arms are up. Colin Gregor Finlow, he's going to get to sit for a little bit of a hook. Some tired legs out there, so they might be maybe utilizing their sticks a little bit more to try and gain a little bit of an advantage that they can't otherwise do with their legs, because the legs will be tired. They both played earlier on today and you know, gave it big licks, so it's going to be tough for them. Mike not looking too much of a worse for wear there. Got some very pretty pink wheels there. Oops. A little bit of Clash of the Titans. Newberry stick handling, trying to find his feet, get his wheels going underneath him. 3-on-3 is a big ask. It's a big pitch, this, you know. It's a long way to skate. I think you look perfectly fetching in those wheels there, Mike. Will that buy me a jersey now? Is that enough? Do I need to go on? Monroe Morris occupying a position in front of the goal, just trying to hold off what's now 4-on-3. Powerful line this on now. Corbin, Mike Hunt, Larocque, Mr. Han. And there he goes, doing what he does best. What's he gonna do? He waited maybe for an ideal pass, but took the advantage himself. Meh. I'm sure he'll share it out a little bit later on if he gets the chance. GBR want to keep the Canadians a little bit more compressed than that, and you know, with the disadvantage, it was always going to be a tough ask, but they're going to want to get some scores in the doors themselves too, so maybe watch GB step up now a little bit. There he goes. The multi-named Mr. Beliveau. Turning, stretching. Making all of his names a name for himself. Oh dear, that was a bit of a bad pass outlet. Tell Brian, maybe making a bit of a decision there under pressure and just got caught, but thankfully not punished. GB coming off better there. Marcel Malley coming on, wants to stick handle. Oh, great attack. But the Canadian keeper equal to that. Ricky Cooper between the sticks for Team GB. And I'm guessing, can't quite see the number. Ooh, slapper. Caught the keeper there, but rebounded off. Oh, danger. Pace. Oh, but got a bit manhandled on the way through and couldn't seal the deal. Ah, okay, so we have Canadian keeper, number 18, Servos. Getting a game. A bit of class there now coming out from the Canadians. Something that maybe they were prevented from showing during the Italian match earlier on, that they disappointingly couldn't quite polish off. And some of the real technical skills coming out. When you drop your shoulders and relax a little bit and the pressure's off, you can really kind of start to play a little bit. And I expect these Canadians, now that they have done that, will really maybe put on a bit of a masterclass here. GB are not going to be pushovers, though, by any means. They played very brightly, as bright as I've ever seen a side from GB play. Oof. Did okay, Newberry there. Unlucky that crossing pass didn't connect. Ooh, dear me, Harry. Happy Gilmoring that little floater of a puck. Wobbling and tumbling. Wobbling and tumbling from Monroe Morris, but Newberry collects and sends it back for a bit of a reset. And Pixie going for a sit.
Get off the pitch, you useless bird.
GB maybe getting a little bit tied up in some knots here. Ooh. Could have taken a tip through on that one. Monsieur Collet. Smartly distributing. Taking up a position. Just caught a little bit bad bounce there. Lucky for GB, because Canada were pressing. Oh, cheeky little no-look behind the back pass. Came up good for the Canadians in the end. Little stick handling. This is dangerous. Crossing pass, but Till did well there. Saw the danger and flattened it by lying down. Oh, they're calling that. Someone seems to think it was in and out, but not the ref. I guess it's his opinion that matters. Finlow taking a slap shot from right up close with a lot of space left, as the Canadians were just politely looking for an answer to the question, did the puck go in and out? I don't know. I mean, who am I to say from way up here? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I leave it to the better judgment of the men in stripes. I think we know what the consensus is, though. Oh, little tip there. It's really good positioning, Marcel. Getting right in the slot. Okay. Dangerous. Accurate. Ooh, not that one. A little bit of a wheels competition there between Ian Parsons and the Canadian Strong player, hand number 43. Oh, dangerous crossy pass, couldn't pull it off though. Just a little bit too far, and Ross maybe not getting his stick down quite quickly enough. Ooh, just playing it around there a little bit soft. GB holding their own there. Oh, denied just by the post. Playing right off there. Now, I didn't see that because it was just out of my vision in that corner. Referee's got his hand up. Let me consult with my eye in the sky here. That was just beyond my sight. It was because it was so far in that right-hand corner to my right. I missed it, but it looked like a pretty straightforward, slightly unnecessary at this stage, to be fair. Elbow charge into the boards. Maybe a little bit of frustration creeping in, you know, the temperature and lack of taking the opportunity in these chances. But look at this. This is very bright. GB going forward and in some numbers with some skill. Oh, great little pinger, and then the puck managed to just skip up over the keeper, pinged off the glass and came back. Canada attacking now. Short-handed. Very forechecky. Good on ya. Newberry watching, seeing the danger on his left. Watch this. Hill waited patiently. Did the centering pass. Maybe caught a little bit of a stick there. Harry's getting a reminder that he's got a player behind him between the shoulder blades. Dangerous at the top. Ooh, Canadian passing not quite as sharp as it has been before and needed to be against really strong opposition that they face here. And GB capitalizing on some of those mistakes. That's a nice little touch. Can he get the pass again? Yes, he can. Two British forwards working very well together. Puck up in the sky. Falls back down. Here's a little bit of pace. Mr. Larocque going forward. Oh! Dangerous. Mike certainly has a way of finding a gap there, and particularly in the 5 hole right on the floor. That's a good way to score around here. Especially now as keepers are reluctant to start jumping up and down, and their legs are really tired, so. And it comes off his stick really quick too. There's no question, he was sore earlier on, but it was no question of whether he was going to play, so. Tried to do a little cheeky chip there, Bilbo. Canada getting pressed by a reasonable forecheck from GB. And a nice little poke check from Rob Coolstock there to disrupt what could have been a dangerous Canadian attack. Up high, snap, wide. Belleville circling in. This could be dangerous. Ross getting close. Patiently waited. Could have maybe taken the shot, but just nice hockey on display here. Nice hockey. Had a good look to see whether the shot was on and the pass was better. And yes, it was. Keep your chins up, GB, now. You know what kind of side these guys are, and you know what kind of a battle you've already had today. So just play your game. Stick to the plan. And you know, and make inroads where you can do what you do very well, which is so far just exactly what you have been doing: forechecking, keeping tight on the defense, passing sensibly between your forwards. Referee getting a little pedantic on the face-off rules there. At this stage, I think it's probably okay just to drop the puck and get the game in. Oh, dangerous Canadians coming forward, ripping it. But Ricky Cooper just very casually sticking out his leg. Oh, unlucky little tip there. And GB could be on the attack. Righty going forward. Oh, maybe just lost the puck there a little bit. Slight mistouch. All the blood started rushing to his head. Oh, nice little turn. Canadians maybe starting to play around a little bit as I suspected they would. Decent though. GB can attack and exploit. Oh, great save. Great slap shot, great save. Greg Finlow's got a shotgun on him and can score like that. So they might need to do just a little bit more than just take the shots from that distance against this Canadian keeper, Serlos. Yeah, Canada now confident. Shoulders are a little relaxed. They're going to move this puck around nicely and start maybe finding each other and playing a little bit some of their practice game plans. This is the breakaway now. Righty, all the blood rushed to his head. Ooh, couldn't quite make it count. Maybe could have picked up his own rebound here. Going to go back in front of the net. Here's a second chance for him on the backhand. He likes to take the pass, but the puck was on its edge and couldn't make anything real threatening of it. And the Canadians return with a slap shot. Whew. Cooper was jumping down, trying to seal the floor. Thinking the puck was going to go in the basement, and then too late, early committed. I think GB could do with a bit of a goal here. Got a timeout just to maybe stop the rot. Everyone's a bit tired, but I think that Canada are playing a little bit more relaxed and chilled out, and it kind of shows in the way that they're, you know, making themselves a little bit more space and being allowed to just flow. I want to repay these very genial and kind Canadians their efforts in sending me their little bios. So I'm just going to go around. Spoke much about the captain in a desperate attempt to get up one of his tops. But I'm happy to say thanks a lot for him and his lads for just showing us some really gritty stand-up hockey. Michael Hunt, 48, from Hamilton, now in Winnipeg. I spoke to his missus just the other night. We had a really good catch-up and a really good chat, and she told me all about her business and what she was doing and the whole story of her and Michael and his days in Boston, going back and forth, and how they hooked up after a while. Classic high school hookup from Facebook after the years had gone by. I know he's got Cameron, Nick, and Janelle at home. And I've spoken to a couple of those guys, and his brother as well too, watching from time to time. So hi to all of those guys out there. If you manage to get some time away from work on a Friday afternoon, then all the better. Despite the fact that your dad's got a bit of a sore back, he's coming out and playing really well. Mike's been playing for ages. Look at this strip here. 2003 World Championships for his bronze medal. 2004 World Championship for his silver medal. 2005 World Championship for his silver medal. World Games in Duisburg. 2008 AAHF World Champs. 2009 AAHF World Champs, 7th. 2016 Fairs World Cup Masters. That was his debut here last year. Assistant coach Fairs Women's for his World Junior head coach, Italy. 2016 AAU Juniors, women's head coach. Spent some time in Hawaii for a couple years there. Still taking a few speculative pot shots at the GB keeper. Oh, denied by the post. And trying to get himself on the scoreboard here as much as the captain. We're playing a little bit tough there now. He's a pretty solid player, Parsons. So he can frustrate attackers, and that will bring out a little bit of niggle. But no stress. It's very much the intention of the Canadians, I think, to go out and really relax and play this as a friendly competition. Not less competitive, but with a certain attitude of mind. Some tired legs showing there. Marcel Malley really doing the very best. People slipping around there, maybe in the corners it's a bit tricky. In that corner there might be a bit of a wet patch if someone slipped and slide as a result of the sweat that everyone's liberally pouring off of them because of this heat in here. I might have mentioned that once or twice. Ah, some crafty little stick handling there now. Lerock taking the chance to show some of his skills off. Canada in the ascendancy there, right up until that moment. Go on, kids, kiss and make up. In the United Kingdom, when we're driving like that, we're reminded to mirror signal maneuver. Seems to have recovered well enough. Ricky Cooper did well to use his body to ping that out. And now some possession for GB. Sensibly going backwards there, Tell. Getting caught up a little bit by the guys going to the bench. Wasn't sure himself what the right thing to do was. So he'll follow his player. Oh, denied by the post. But it trickled in front. And then Hale 79 picked it straight back up again. It's getting frustrating for GB. They're really beat out there. And it's going to be hard against a Canada side that maybe a little bit sore from their defeat earlier and wanting to come around and really play the way that they know that they can and maybe couldn't against an Italy side earlier on. Let me go around a little bit more. I'm sure a few are watching now. Greg Zona, number 79. He's 48 from Toronto. His wife Anna. Doris and Rick, mom and dad. Played in MLH, South Carolina Fire Ants and the Washington Power. What great names they've got over there. Played for a team called the Has-Beens for a bit. Not quite the same ring to it as Washington Power. Harry winding up for the fake, tipped in Newberry. That was a really good opportunity there, actually. Harry's got this chance now. Canada coming into good positions. Denied by the post, it rolled up and out. Posts are ringing here now. Here comes the GB scoring chance, pushing forward. Monroe Morris looking for the pass. Oh, stretched, did it? But the puck was just on its edge and he ended up scooping it like a little scoop of some of this delightful Italian ice cream that people have been munching today in a desperate attempt to keep cool and get a little bit of sugar back in tired legs. The Gats, number 9, sweeping around, centering pass to absolutely nobody. Here we go, Marcel Malley now. He's got the run on the Canadian defender, tried a little backhand, oh wow. Servos, brilliant save. Body went one way and top half went the other to stick and defended it well. Marcel Malley will have another go. but he did the pass instead. Colstock stretching. Oh, just stick checked expertly. And a shot right back at the GB keeper, Ricky Cooper. Scott Mickelson, number 77, born in the peg, like myself. He's a 40-year-old. Does all right. Looks pretty in pretty good nick. Wants to say hello to his 3 kids. Amelia, Hannah, Elijah, all the rest of the family. Hopefully they're watching. He's got a few students at the Phoenix School who are apparently all cheering him on. So if you guys are watching in the Phoenix School, let me just quickly count. What time is it there now in the peg? 5 here. 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10 o'clock. Must be break time. Get your phones on. Click on to Lepis Hockey on YouTube. And cheer on Mr. Mickelson. Canada kind of putting on a little bit of a display of some tactics here, and not worrying too much. Oh, a little bit of wrestling going on there. Gregor Finlay will be having a little shot, but GB couldn't capitalize on the effort that Greg had made. Greg just having a little chat with Larocque. There's no bad blood there, just a bit of competitive spirit. They want to press each other, and Larocque is going to sit for his efforts. They're calling it for a hook. But plays it tough, the Canucks. Must have been a pretty good hook as well too, because he's a big unit, Greg. Harry dabbing the brakes and turning in the other direction, getting it to Newberry. Pixie kind of parking in front. Oh, wicked slap shot from way downtown. I think I know which way the crowd's going to cheer in. Some of the GB vets have rolled back in from the other village in Murano, and have occupied their usual seats in front of me here. And Newberry very pleased with himself. That was a corker of a shot. And they'll be pleased, GB, really pleased to get some scores on the doors. Oh, Harry's looking at the referee going, come on, fella. You didn't want to do that. Okay. Apparently it's tripping, so the referee has very clearly indicated several very flourishing times in front of the box. We've got Canada 6, GB 1, and we'll take a little 5-minute rest break. Marcel Malley electing to just stay on the bench and maybe stay in some very, very little air movement in the arena. GB just kind of coming off the bench and potting off into the corner there. Tough, it's tiring out there. It's really hot. Eric Varden playing for Canada. Dorchester, Ontario is where he's from. Wearing number 88, struggled with his shoulder recently. Fancied a few shifts. I'm sure I've seen him on. His mate, Ryan Beliveau, if that is indeed his real name, helped sort of bring him into this sport here, and together those two buddies are probably having the time of their life out here. So good on them, and that's part of the very best of what we like to do here. This sport, for whatever reason, and I leave it to those better able to judge than myself, but for whatever reason, hockey seems to attract a certain type of gentleman who has the right head of thinking. I think it's, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the fact that the danger that's potentially out there for these guys to hurt each other has to at least instill in them an idea of how to balance every little bit of physical and mental strength and power in competition, fighting for every last scrap, and at such pace and with such speed and exhibiting such skill. In order to prevent killing each other, they have to be able to judge, I guess, exactly the right amount and no more of pain and pressure to dish out to the opposition. And maybe that just is then transferred into the way that they conduct themselves in the rest of life, you know? Or maybe they don't need to take their aggression out anywhere else because it's all left out here on the rink. And then the rest of their lives, their confidence and their calm is exuded. But everywhere I go, hockey players are the best guys, and that's a fact. GB is no different to that, and I found that here in Italy as well too. In fact, I think that's maybe too also why it's so much fun to gather these groups of hockey players together, because as I come into contact with various different people in their various different professions, maybe in the world of a little bit of music here and there, or in the world of education, you know, teachers, professionals, in the world of medicine, and those people that I come into contact with from time to time, they're all got a different way of being, their own little cultures, and hockey culture is one that I gravitate to myself. And I guess that's part of how Eric and Ryan managed to stick together and bring themselves into come and play for Canada here. So Eric says hi to Ken and Judy, mom and dad, his sister Kendra, who's been traveling around all over North America to support his career, and of course his wife and daughter, who are here with him. Vince Wand, Hanover, Ontario. Let's go through his career. Walkerton Blackhawks, Hanover Barons, Walkerton Capitals. Spent a bit of time in Walkerton. And he's paying it forward now because he's an organizer of grassroots hockey. He's been a 20-year contributor to the community of hockey where he's from. 2004 Oakville Waterfront Men's Champs, 2016 Tours National Finals Men's Division, Masters Division Silver Medalist, 2016 Team Canada. He was here, inspired by the Olympics. Danny Larocque, tall man, number 11, 39-year-old from Sarnia. Jones's mom, Ron, dad, watching. Lynn, his wife. Daughter Tristan, hi Tristan. Mason, Davin, his two boys. This is his 12th time playing for Canada, a real veteran, multi-capped. Junior level, men's level, his second Masters. He's been in Narch, done some Disney tournaments. Do you have to wear like Mickey Mouse ears when you do that? Maybe they just tape them to the top of your helmet. He's top scorer in the Narch Junior Division, MVP at Ontario Champs 4 times, and an inline player since 15 years old. Mike Smith, 49, wants to shout out to his dad, Verley, and his mom, Brenda, and his wife, who he describes here as AK. Well, that's A-OK by me. Second half is underway. Canada 6, GB 1. Newberry scoring from a corker of a slap shot just before we went to the locker rooms, or at least almost there. Just for a little bit of a walk to get some fresh air. Try and cool down. Tired legs, but these guys are still competing, and they're, you know, trying to regain some honor. It's difficult to keep your head up and your motivation up after a long tournament like this, and having traveled so far and spending some late nights out, getting to know some really cool new people, to get up and still kind of compete for the places 5 through 8. They are consolations, but still important for, you know, in the spirit of the best sportsmanlike conduct to, you know, compete for everything that you've got, everything that you can. Marcel Malley picking off some slightly complacent passing. Took a little extra touch there, still turning, spinning. He's kind of on his own though. Oh, hey up, hey up. What's going on there? That'll back out. He might be a little bit hurt there. Got a zinger. As there was two trucks trying to occupy the same parking spot. Oh, he's going to go sit down. He's not going to hang around. He'll go and rub that dead leg off. As the Canadians kind of compress in on their power play, or what's little left of it. Nice save. Ricky Cooper, and then another one. And then finally cleared all the way down. Simon Harry coming up. Maybe onto it to see if he can scoop it up. Now, can he do it now? Legs burning. He's looking for the pass in front. Patient, waiting for the perfect one. Oh, if that one time had come off, it would have been there. And there goes the stick. Turn his stick into a pair of nunchucks now. And the Canadian stick handling right the way through all the traffic. Didn't make it come off. Tell Brian trying to gather that puck in. Been quite a lot of stick attrition here. I've seen a few sticks being dropped on the rink. Canadians passing well here as they move in. Tightening the knot, squeezing, stick handling. Oh, the puck is drifting, didn't have any power on it, so Ricky just had to stretch out on the chaise lounge. Oh, that's broken for him as well, but he couldn't do it. He was spinning. Now, who's got the legs? Can he do it? He's going stretching forward. It's gone away from him a little bit. He did the backhand, but it only just bounced off that big wall of pad from Servos. Turned square onto the puck. Fake shot, held onto it, turned it out. Newberry managed to pick it off. Newberry turning around. Is there a trip there? Yes, there will be. Taking advantage. Not yet holding possession. That's it. Oh, a little frustration showing on there. Weatherrock. And now we've got a GB power play. Let's see what they can do. Sam Hill, 37 years old, number 79, Strathroy, Ontario. Now you'll forgive me. I have his wife's name here. I'm assuming it's Rochelle. Could be Rachel. But the way it's spelled, let's go for Rochelle. I don't know what this geezer's doing here with the door wide open. But someone tap him on the shoulder and remind him that the door needs to be shut. So the door at the penalty box where Larocque is sat is still wide open. Are they doing a little swap? Okay, the referees are coming to the box now. I'm not really quite sure what the call is. We're having to reconsider. Let me consult with the eye in the sky and see what we can come up with. Harry's come up to have a little chat, just to see what the go is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hockey players gathering. Someone must have said cold beer. Someone was making the mouthy chops sign with his hands, so did someone get a little bit lippy? Still going to go and sit down, number 43, Han. What, does somebody else wants to come in as well, too? Corbett wants to come in and join him. He must have heard the shout for cold beer as well. Well, I've asked around. Most of the GB vets are sat in front of me here now, and they're having a committee meeting about what the call is, and I don't think that they've decided themselves. So, whatever it is, we've got a couple of Canadians sitting in the box for their troubles. Monsieur Larocque, number 11. And Mr. Han, number 43. They'll probably do with the rest anyway. They don't look that bothered about sitting there anyway. So, they'll take that in their stride. Oops, a little bit of a trip up there. I think that's all that was. Carl just getting a little bit tripped up, and then again, got tripped up. There's a bit of a heavy hit as well, too. So GB trying to sort of get some shape. The tall man, number 44, assistant captain for Canada, not wanting to commit too much. He's taking it easy, and that's going to cost him. Because Simon Hare finally figured out that if you shoot for an empty space, you might just score a goal, and that's what he did. And there you go. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. And GB accounting for themselves reasonably well, considering that the Canadians have probably got another level in their locker here yet. If they step up forward, things could go in the other direction as well. But for now, GB in the ascendancy and pushing themselves forward, and as they have done all this tournament, really accounting for themselves very, very well, and playing competitively and honorably. Oh, great little stick check there, Marcel Malley. A lot of experience there. Lots of sticks kind of creeping up now as well. Friendly comp this, but not entirely. And maybe a little bit of heat cooking now on the rink as well as in terms of the temperature. GB players continuing to go forward. Sometimes getting a little bit lucky, but maybe relying on luck more than virtue sometimes. Malley in the corner, picked up a long pass. Canadians break forward as a 3 on 2. Stretching, tried to look for the pass, caught on a skate of the GB defender, and now in the reverse. Can Righty get on the end of that? Didn't have the legs. Oh, slapper. Hit glove, and I think it went up and over. I was in the middle of saying hello to Sam's missus, Rochelle. I take a risk here. Rachel, if it's not that, I'm sorry. Reese, his 8-year-old, and Quinn, his 6-year-old, and Ron and Kathy, his parents, no doubt dragging him around from rink to rink in his burgeoning hockey career as a youngster, and now doing the same himself, I'm sure, or will be, with a little bit of luck. Paul Melton, number 14, from Sarnia, who said hello to Skylar and Summer and his parents, Rose and Al. List of IIHF and FERS experience here. RHI Buffalo Wings. MLRH Port Huron North Americans, 1998. Ooh, that was back in the day. The pro team, the Franklin Labita team. Ooh, danger. GB going forward. Oh, loose puck that just bounced off the backboards, and Harry could have pounced. If it had really jumped on that, he could have done. But back out to steady the ship. Down but not out. Captain Michael. Exercising patience. Very clever. Buffalino for USA, not the only keeper who can get involved as a fifth man. Ran into some traffic there, the Canadians. Look at that. Carl's legs absolutely withering now. Who's got some left? Whew. Newberry does. Ooh, there's a little loose one. Who wants it more? Harry's trying to get that pass off. He's getting super stick checked. Belliveau. Potting in. Yeah, he'll appreciate that. He'll really enjoy that. Well done. Donna is here from Canada. She's Brent Henry's wife. Whitby, Ontario residence. He wants to say hi to his son Eric, who's, according to him, an awesome hockey player. Jimmy making an outstanding save there. Still weathering the pressure. Canada have got 7, but GB are 2 good goals there. Newberry and Simon Hare, the captain, scoring. 10 minutes left in the second period. And both teams likely going to spend some time to make the most of it and enjoy it while they're out there. Another game each to play, both. Tricky to keep their chins up for this bottom half of the draw, but stalwart competitors, they still love to score. He certainly does. Mr. Ross, he wants to score too, and he took his time, used his pace to handle that round. Wasn't much anybody could do about that. Legs are really getting tired now. Eric Henry, attending Durham College. His sister, Alex, is playing ringette, attends the U of T in the big city. His roller hockey bio is absolutely too long to go into. Team Ontario, State Wars, MDX scoring title, Ryan Gibbs Award winner, 4 roller hockey leagues in the Toronto area, and on and on and on. You can see the kind of pedigree that a country like Canada can bring to these games, and to be fair, what a big ask it is to be able to compete effectively. You know, when we've got amateurs like we do, competing against the outstanding talent that is coming in from particularly North America, certainly Eastern Europe. You know, so GB have done tremendously well, though not on the winning side of the score line here, and haven't been against some of these great sides. This GB team this year, it has been said many times and will be said again, accounting for themselves better than any other team yet has before. And every bit is committed to returning year on year on year. And really committed members of this Masters inline hockey establishment. Oh, throwing the bodies down on the line, still stick handling, too silky. Skills just too silky, so patient. It's hard to stay on your toes now and start dancing around when the guy's got hands like that. Goal just before this most recent one, scored by Ryan Beliveau, who I've now established is definitely going by the name of Ryan. He's on number 41. Sorry, he's age 41, which is next to the word number 26. From London, Ontario, not the big one in the UK. Says hello to his folks. Oh, sharp! Harry! Showing that he's just got every little bit of the hands and every little bit of the sharpness now. Scoring for fun is Harry. Number 2 in this match. Well played. And GB go to 3. Superb effort. Great shot, Harry. It's tough for those guys out there to stay sharp and stay really, really focused and to stay quick. There's definitely a slowing down of time here as these players just try and work some of the lactic acid in their aching muscles out and try and maybe just probably skating at speed more for the breeze than any of the oh, danger again! Tell you what, the Canadians may be really getting a little bit slow and letting the the Great British team kind of do as they please in the front. And these lads are doing every little bit to kind of make this score respectable. Harry was often the go-to person on GB teams past, for sure. Someone who, like his counterpart captain on Team Canada, when the chips were down, was the one guy who could find another level and do something special. Harry's now just quietly, maybe out of everyone's radar, finding himself in good positions now and pressing himself and making himself rather useful and rather handy. Canada don't have too much to stress about, though. They're well ahead. They've done the work already. But they're not going to give up. No way. Legat's number 9. Drop pass. Could have got it back. But this is dangerous. Could be a 2-on-1 unless Corbett can get back. Oh, ping! And another bell rings as the crossbar is tapped on. And Righty, the forward on line 3, tapping his stick on, trying to G his team up. GB could score a couple more here yet. That'd be interesting. 26. Ryan Belliveau says hi to his folks, his daughter Lily, son Ben, and his partner Sonia. Denise and his brother-in-law Chris, who are now in Dubai, probably nearly as hot as it is here there. I don't think I need to say anything more than the very first line of his very generously provided bio. And he's demonstrated that out there as well too. And when I've spoken to him earlier on, especially to clarify his name, and we've established that now. First line. An incredible honor to play on this team and represent Canada, wear the Canada inline jersey once again. Say no more. Finlow dropping. Oh, fanned the wrister. Oh, he's frustrated. He wanted to make an impression as well, too, while the goals are going. Gibbons. Who trickling little puck like my trickling little tongue here. Oh, it's been a long few days. Oh, scoop that puck away from Dan's now, the change of keeper, so Dan's come out to replace Ricky Cooper to get a shift in. Do a little stick check there. Was it a stick check? Was it a hook? Harry's not sure. He didn't fancy it. Who's the penalty on? Okay, they've made it clear. It was Harry the hook on the stick, though. Is Corbell sure? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't think that it was a hook either. Maybe he thinks it's all fair in love and war. All that effort to score the goals, and then he gets to sit down and take a break. Bill Adams, he's a 45-year-old, he's number 71, his hometown Sarnia. We've heard that before, I think, a few of these chaps from there. Lives just outside there now in a place called Point Edward. I bet it's lovely. He's got 3 boys to say hi to. And I'll read their names out as soon as I can dare look down at the paper again while Canada wind up to potentially score another goal here. Oh, danger! Well, kind of saw that coming. The captain's on the rink. Hold on to your china. Sorry, Bill. Let me get back. The man from Point Edward and his family and his lovely 3 boys. Ryan, Curtis, Kyle. Hello. If you're watching today, if you can get out of school, if you've had to take an extended toilet break and use some of your telephone data, flick on YouTube. And Dad says hi, and Bill says hi to his colleagues as well, co-workers at Lamsar. He's hoping that you guys are able to watch. Slap shot, trickling in. Malley trying to dig it. Does he pot it? Referee's right there. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Marcel Malley not sitting there complacent. He's trying to slap away at every little scrap. The referee was right there. It took a little while to make the decision. So the Canadian chaps are just scratching their chins on that one. They must have an itchy beard. Canada 10, GB 5 with under 5 minutes left to play in this war of attrition between the Queen's two countries separated by the Atlantic. Oh, that's a little bit of a traffic jam. Taken with a smile on his face. But Kaj there. Okay, they won't let him in the door. There we go. I think he did that just so he could sit down, Kaj. Bless him. He's been working so hard all tournament and playing really, really well in the right places at the right times, and you know, a much improved technical player from a tenacious player too, gritty, but now adding a lot of technique as well too. I think really has been pushed on a bit by some of the really good players coming on to playing for the GB side, and has stepped up his game really well. He's normally very shy and quite reserved, is Kaj, so I think it'll be, you know, might help him break out of his shell a little bit, you know, a bit of confidence like this. So, you know, we'll keep working with him and stuff like that. If you do know Kaj, try and encourage him to be a little bit less, you know, shy, to be confident, speak his mind, you know. He's got a lot of interesting things to say, Kaj, none of which anyone can understand. But, you know, it's his right to say it. Gibbons. Newberry sends it back to Pixie. Monroe Morris skates around, comes off. Ricky Cooper trying to cool off, taking a break now and doing the doors for his compatriots. Marcel Malley now coming on, he's got some space. How or why he's got so much space short-handed is anyone's guess. Do we think we've notched down a couple of gears with 2 minutes left to play and Canada 5 goals to the good? Maybe they don't have to stress too much. Marcel Malley putting the Jets on. Nice little touch. 1-2 from Tell to Mal. Oh, held on to that. Had to turn away again. Now he's going for it. Took his time. Went for a backhand, but there was a lot of traffic in there. He wasn't going to likely find that hole. Using the boards. Nice little turn again. Marcel, skillful, waiting, did the pass. Oh, so patient. Couldn't make it capitalize. Kulsuk having to skate back. Canadian backcheck still has a little bit of energy. Dan dealing with the puck heading his way quite smartly. GB going for some fresh legs. There's a big dump from Tell. A few of those big dumps from Towell apparently upsetting a few of his roommates this week so far. Finlow, slap, ouch, hits the keeper who's getting tumbled upon, pushed in the back and thrown around like a sack of spuds. Gibbons, but takes it all with a smile on his face. Okay, Newberry, couldn't get the backhand pass off. Is it gonna go down? Yes, the referee from the far side gives it the call. With 7:51 left. I think that's seconds. So in that short period of time, I want to go to the last couple of bios I've got here. Derek Han, Elmira, number 43. I say no more than this. Greatest achievement at any level or any sport. Very proud to be out here. And I met him the other night in the bar and he was telling us some stories about his hockey career that were really interesting. So, well, at least they were interesting to someone. I was struggling to stay awake. Just kidding, Derek. He's a great lad. And the debutant, Mark Servos. The keeper in now for Canada. Goaltender. He has something quite special to say as the game finishes for Canada. He's honoring his brother-in-law, who sadly lost his life in a car accident. Nathan Marsters in 2009. His helmet there is a painted tribute to him. It's got a picture of him and the teams that he's played for: Anaheim Ducks in the NHL, Portland Pirates AHL, RPI Division 1, US College, Crefeld Penguins of the DEL. So have a look at that helmet. He's played before for Team Canada World Champs in Italy in 2011 and Barun in 2010. Played for the Bandits in Pittsburgh in the AHL. American Inline, my bad. He's really excited to be back here. He says nothing beats representing your country, especially being Canadian and playing hockey. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm glad I got a chance, even at this late doors, to be able to tell that story about your brother-in-law.